Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Feel the Snow. In the last episode, our little snow lady finally managed to defeat Ninus, the queen of ice herself, and in doing so, she actually rescued another one of the citizens in the settlement. So this time his name is Roland, and he takes care of the weapons shop in the town. We managed to buy some of these bombs from him, which supposedly are going to help us gather up some of those tantalum ores inside that strange biome. He actually gave us a name for that biome too, which was the Oil Valley, I believe. So he is very, very knowledgeable about these different types of ores, and it sounds like he wants us to bring him one of those pieces so he can maybe make something new. So we're going to be spending a lot of time in that strange biome today, because the next quest in our journal wants us to go way back down here to the Iron Ville, which is literally on the edge of the territory that we've already explored, right on the edge, which is such a bummer because we were so close to discovering something new. But I guess it's probably a good thing that we didn't find it too early. I'd imagine there would be nothing that we could actually do before we defeated Ninus. So I'm going to go straight over to the Iron Ville first before we try to gather up any of that tantalum ore. We do have a very long walk ahead of us, but I have a feeling, just like how we had one of those teleportation pads at Roland's house, we'll probably find a way to fast travel over to the Iron Ville as well. That, of course, is going to save our little snow lady so much time because it does take a very long time for her to run all the way down there. It looks like we might be off the track too, off of our typical trail. We have like one straight line straight to this biome here, but we do want to go toward the northern portions of it anyway. That is where the Iron Ville is, so if we can scoot past all of these goblins. Oh no, they definitely saw me, but we are powerful wizards now. We can get rid of these guys in just one hit. That is crazy. There was a little wizard goblin over here too, so let's see how good we are against him. He can send his own magic spells out, but I think, there we go, 2 hits and that guy is completely done. Our snow lady is very powerful now, so I don't think, oh my gosh, 1 hit on that guy. 1 hit. We don't have much standing in our way anymore. I mean, I would imagine that the enemies who are going to be facing us next are probably going to be quite powerful because Ninus was a little bit of trouble herself. We tried to beat her 3 times and that guy was scratching his nose. Oh my gosh, that was adorable. I hate to kill you now, but we kind of have places to be. I forgot how many goblins there actually are in this biome. They're like literally everywhere. Though we did find one of those goblin communities out in this area, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are near one of them right now. That's probably why there are so many, but still, no match for us. There we go, little guy. Oh, we got some goblin skin from that guy that time. I don't think I have too many of these because we didn't really spend too much time in this biome, so we might as well take it and bring it to one of our chests for later on. I think there were some items related to maybe the archery skill that we could use the goblin skin for. We'll have to check that out. I have one of the mage hats actually in the house, and that might be a good idea for us to switch onto our snow lady. We don't really have to worry about all of the cold inside the ice caves anymore, so it might be a good idea just to give us that little extra boost in our magic, even if we are already doing a very good job slaying everything in our path. At least we would have that bit of an extra boost. I do want to make sure we're gathering up all of these flowers too if we pass them, if I notice them, because we do need quite a few of those to make the mana potions, and those were so helpful early on. Now we're getting into wolf territory, it looks like. This might be a little bit more of a problem, but if we hit this guy with our ice spikes, oh my gosh, we can take him out in 1 hit too! And then we can gather up all of that wool, which will help us make the new armors pretty soon as we have that new ore. Right now, though, I might want to actually munch on one of our snail meals. That would probably be a good idea because we are getting a little bit hungry. And here is another one. You are running off somewhere else, though. Was he chasing after the slime or maybe a chicken up there? He was definitely booking after something. I guess it was the slime. There are tons of these wolves out here. Maybe we are a little bit more off the beaten trail than I thought we were. Let's see. How close are we now? I mean, we're actually not that far away from the Iron Ville itself, so why don't we just keep going along this way? We might as well. We're at the very northern portions of that biome, and that's just less area for us to run through later on and gather up the attention of enemies. Hopefully they'll have a little shelter for us somewhere in there too, because it is getting very late. And here's the edge of the biome, and there's that tantalum ore too, so we are very close to another one of the deposits of the ore at least. Now let's see, can we find the Iron Ville? I'm assuming it's going to be like a little town of some sort, right? Let's see, we are so close now. It has to be like right around the corner, but I don't want to run into all of those enemies either because those are a little bit tricky. And there we go. I think I do see some sort of house here. It almost looks like a prison. What kind of place is this? Oh my gosh. Are you friendly? And there's that owl too. Roland did mention a mechanical owl, so let's see, let's talk to this guy. You look adorable, a little robot. To use owl module OW19. First pour oil into the upper compartment. Oh, the oil that we can get from those little gray slimes. There's actually one right down there, thankfully. Then put the item you wish to send in the lower compartment. Okay, so this actually sends the items to somebody else, I guess? That's interesting. So we need the oil first. I don't think I have any on me because I only have this mucus. I use this for the lantern because it doesn't seem like there's much of a difference between using the oil in the lantern and the mucus. And the mucus is just easier for us to get because those slimes, the little blue ones that hop around our home, are just easier for us to take care of. These guys aren't too hard, but they do take a while for us to get rid of. Now, I guess that means that we do need some tantalum ore too. Like, is this actually how Roland wants us to give him the tantalum ore? That's very interesting. And this place is so empty too. Like, we just have all these robots around the town, but nobody's really inside their homes. Let's see, can I talk to you too? Oh, you're a merchant. Okay. Let's see, we can buy a gas mask from you, a baked ham, some goulash with spice. Okay, so I wonder if we're going to need this for like a poison enemy maybe. I know the mushrooms inside the ice caves could poison us, so that's interesting. How much did that actually cost? Let's see. 800 of these coins. Oh my goodness. We are really going to have to work very, very hard to get that many coins. Now this is that teleportation pad. Thank goodness. This means that we can go back to the Snowville, our little settlement, and we can go straight over here from there as well. Thank goodness, no more running back and forth from our house to the Oil Valley. We can just fast travel right away. No, there's another little robot over here. Can I talk to you as well? Welcome to Iron Ville. Well, thank you, little robot. Is this your house? Is it just as empty? Yes, it definitely is. I mean, I guess robots probably don't have much use for material items, but it's still very, very empty and very rusty too. It looks like it needs a little bit of maintenance here, but I do like the lights. This would be nice to actually put up around our house if we could find the recipe for that. Now let's see, we need to find some tantalum ores so we can blow it up with our bombs, I guess. That is going to be the next order of business. So we had some right up here, right at the very, very edge of the biome. I guess we might as well go there, though there is some right down here too. So let's see, wherever we are not going to have to run into enemies would be the best place for us to do this. It's almost morning too, so we don't really have to worry too much. Yep, of course, I already attracted the attention of the crabs. These guys are tricky, but at least we don't have to worry too much about the nightmares. Now, if I can freeze this guy, then he actually shoots his lasers a little bit slower. As long as I am not in the way of them, then I should be okay. Yeah, the lasers stun us and actually stop us from casting our own magic, so that's why those guys are so tricky. I do definitely prefer to fight the ones with the big teeth because I can at least stay away from them so they can't damage me, and I can also hit them with my magic easily. But let's see, I think there is some tantalum ore. Okay, and let's get rid of this guy too because we might need the extra oil later on. We'll go ahead and get rid of this guy and try not to draw the attention of the big hooded nightmare up there. And let's see, how are we going to use this bomb? I guess we just drop it? Is there a way for us, oh my goodness, to drop it? Oh my gosh, I could have actually hit the nightmare with that if we timed it just right. He went flying straight into our trap, but unfortunately he was a little bit too fast. That might be a good thing for us to try out someday though, if we have the chance. Right now I'm more concerned with actually picking up the tantalum. There we go. We definitely want to grab this. I have to send Roland a sample of tantalum. Okay, so we actually do have to send it through this strange mechanical owl. We can't just bring him a sample of tantalum. Hopefully that doesn't mean that we're going to have to do this like every single time with the tantalum because that might be a little bit much. We have so many different items to make out of the tantalum ore too. Let's see, what does this say in our journal though? Use a mechanical owl in Ironville. Find mechanical owl in Ironville and send Roland a sample of tantalum. That is exactly what we're going to do. So first, we need to place the oily liquid liquid in there, right? Is that how we do it? Maybe we interact with it first. Yeah, there we go. Oh shoot, which one goes in the top? Was it the oily liquid on the top? And then the item we want to send on the bottom? Let's see, was that right? I think Roland will be pleased. I guess that was right. There we go. And he's already back. Oh my gosh, you are very, very quick. Much faster than I would have been if I ran all the way back. Now, was that actually the last quest? That may have been our very final quest, because even though the journal updated, it doesn't look like we have anything else. Oh my gosh, are we really done already? Let's see, I did notice a little hooded guy up here kind of stalking around, so we might as well get rid of him, because I'm sure these little robots are not too pleased having the nightmares wander around inside their Iron Ville. Let's get rid of you. Just a couple more hits ought to do it, as long as you don't hit me. Oh my goodness, you're hitting me pretty hard too. Let's go ahead and hit him with our sword a few times. There we go, that worked. And we leveled up too. Excellent. Let's sneak inside one of these very, very empty houses and see what we can spend that on. We did actually want to try out the archery branch. Even though we're doing so well with our magic right now, we might as well give it a try, especially if we're like out of actual quests now. So let's see, an arrow strike. Stores energy in the arrow, increasing its speed and combat power. I mean, that sounds pretty good. We'll go ahead and apply our skill point to the very first archery skill, and we'll see how we can do with that once we get our bows back out again and once we make more arrows. But first, let's go back to Roland to see if he actually got our little tantalum sample. Like, maybe we need to go talk to him next. Let's go to the Snowville and zip down to the weapon shop, which I believe was right down here, past all of these other destroyed houses. I would assume that there probably are many, many more citizens for us to save later on, but Roland, did you receive the sample? I can't actually talk to him, so I'm not quite sure. It looks like he could repair our items though. That's interesting. So could you actually repair? Yeah, my iron sword. Okay, but of course it costs quite a bit of coins, and we don't actually have any of that currency, so we're not going to be able to take you up on that offer just yet, but that would be a very good way for us to spend our money, so we don't have to keep making these iron swords again and again every time they break. Let's try to make a new sword though. Since we can actually gather up this tantalum ore, we might as well do that, and let's see if we can gather up any of those little coins too. Let's try to sell some of our items. Like, we have all of these mechanical items down here that we gather up from those enemies, and in fact, can we make the ingots yet, or was there something else that we had to get first? No, just 2 pieces of tantalum ore in the furnace, and then we can make our first ingots. So let's go ahead and eat one of our snail meals, because we are getting very, very hungry now, and then we'll zip up to our house and see if we can make some of the ingots, or maybe if we can even create some of the tantalum items before we go back. I'm pretty sure it probably requires more tantalum ore than just the couple that we have, and in fact we're probably going to need more bombs before we can really work toward upgrading our tools and our armor. But for now, we should be able to make 1 single tantalum ingot, so we might as well, since we're here, we might as well make our 1 tantalum ingot. There we go. So how much do we actually need to make all of this stuff? We need a tantalum hilt, which I do believe the weapon shop was actually selling. So we'll need to buy that from him, but we need 3 of the tantalum ingots to make the sword. We need 3 to make the shield. We need 4 to make the armor. And the bow, if we are going to work on our archery skills, we'll need 3 more for that too. So quite a bit of work ahead of us, but let's go ahead and empty some of our pockets. We have tons of dense textures in here too. Oh my goodness. We might actually want to sell off some of those too if we need the extra pocket change. We have our ice roses, our goblin skin, and all of these different things. Yeah, let's go ahead and sell off some of our dense textures. That would probably be a good idea. These guys are really much easier to defeat, I think, than the crabs anyway, so that's probably why we have so many of them inside our inventory. But I don't want to lose our tantalum ingot, I don't want to lose our tantalum ore, so those are going nice and safe and sound right inside our inventory. I'm going to save the wool out too, because we do actually need that for the armor, and then we'll just place the ice roses and the goblin skin right in here for now, even though that's not typically where I store all of those items. So I'm going to be very, very confused when I'm looking for them later, but you guys know that is where I put them. When I'm asking later, that is exactly where all of our goblin skin is, where all of our different pieces of wool are. But let's see if Roland will take any of our dense textures and whatnot to exchange for some more bombs to use. Did I run past his house? There he is, right over here, just as these big nightmares are spawning too, and just just as we, oh my goodness, ran out of stamina. Don't lock yourself out, Jess. That was terrible. Okay, so we have plenty of things to sell you now, Roland. We have plenty of dense textures. So let's just hand over all of these for now so we can buy a whole bunch of bombs to take with us. We have 300 coins now, so I think we're going to be able to buy quite a bit. There we go. Let's go ahead and buy, I guess, 3 more of these. And how much does this cost? Only 100, so let's buy one of these too so we have that, and then we might as well just spend the rest of our money on the bombs again. We might as well. What's the use of having 50 more of those coins in our pockets? So let's go ahead and use that teleportation pad to go straight over to the Iron Ville. I am so pleased that we don't have to run all the way back down there anymore. That is going to make it so much easier to defeat all of those enemies down there, to get to the tantalum ore, of course. There we go, the Iron Ville, and quite a bit of it is very close to where they live as well, so we don't have to go too far away to use our bombs. Now let's see, I believe there were a couple of those little fragments way up here, right? And now we're getting chased by the crabs again. Of course, I can't set foot into this biome without drawing the attention of the crabs. And the nightmares, apparently. Always the nightmares. You guys are as just as big of a nuisance as those crabs sometimes, aren't you? They must have heard that I sold all of the dense textures, so I am going to need some more later on. Let's go ahead and grab these up so we'll have more to sell to Roland. And there's another guy right over here, so let's get rid of you too. We'll slow him down with our magic, and then we'll hit him with our ice balls because that always seems to work. This always seems to do the trick. There we go. One more dense texture for us. So let's go up here because I'm pretty sure there was a giant, a giant cluster of these. And if we place these just right, then we might be able to gather up a whole bunch, but let's run away so we don't get caught in the blast. Let's see, how many is that going to? Oh my gosh! It exploded that much? So apparently we don't need too many of these bombs because that was a huge blast. I'm surprised that didn't actually hit us. Oh my goodness, so we can definitely make that sword now. Definitely. We have 12 of these, so that's going to be 6 tantalum ingots. That means that we could actually make the shield too, but first, I mean, we might as well just gather up as many of these as we can. Let's drop another bomb over there. Let's drop a bomb up here too, because I don't think it's going to be able to reach that far. There we go. 2 bombs at once. We are multitasking now. And now we have all of that lovely, lovely tantalum ore. Roland is going to be very impressed with us. Look how much we're actually gathering up. We're going to have stacks and stacks of this to smelt in our furnace once we get back home. Let's see, how many do we have now? Oh my goodness, 26. 26. I mean, at this point, we might as well get rid of all of the straggling pieces, or at least a couple of them up here. So 28 pieces of tantalum ore. That is a lot of ore for us to smelt. Let's scoot all the way back down here around the reapers so we can get back to the town. It seems like they really like to focus their attention around the Iron Ville. I wonder if they're attracted to this place for some reason. There's only robots there though, and they don't really seem to bother the robots too much, at least as far as I can tell. Not like our poor little snowmen in the village who had their entire town destroyed by nightmares. So let's make as many of these tantalum items as we possibly can. That gives us how many ingots? 14 ingots. There we go. So I mean, we are going to be very, very close to all of the ingots that we need if we don't have them already. We can make our very first tantalum sword. Oh, this is exciting. There we go. So now we have a nice upgraded sword that we can place right in our inventory. We could actually maybe sell off the iron swords because we're not really going to need them anymore. And it'll give us that extra little boost of currency too, so we can buy even more bombs for later on. Now let's see, we wanted to make the shield as well. We can definitely do that, and then I believe we actually need a little bit of cloth for the tantalum armor. So I know where the wool is. I placed it in here, so let's grab our wool just in case we need to make some more. I'm not sure if I have a piece of cloth in here already. Oh, I do. Excellent. Very, very good. So we'll gather up on that cloth, and then we'll go ahead and make our brand new armor as well, which should help protect us from all of those nasty crabs inside the oil valley. So the tantalum armor, let's create this too right with our anvil, and then it's just the tantalum bow, which we actually need a rope for, but I'm pretty sure I also have that. We were using the dried herbs actually to make the ropes, and it looks like I might have to make one more. Maybe we used it for the stone bow before. We're really running out of room in our inventory though. I think we're going to need to put some of our stuff stuff away. So the materials, we need a workbench for this, so let's zip down here and create one of these ropes. And then we should be able to make our very last tantalum item, the tantalum bow. There we go. So I guess the next time we can try out not only all of these different tantalum weapons that we made, the sword and the shield too, but we can also hopefully try out the tantalum bow. We are, though, like I said, going to have to make some more of those little arrows. Let's see, how do we make these? Just twigs and stones, so that shouldn't be too bad, but we use them so quickly that we are going to need stacks and stacks. Just like I have for our health potions and our mana potions, we are going to need stacks and stacks of arrows. I did notice, though, that one of these different skills, maybe it was the arrow mastery, yeah, adds a chance of a lucky shot which does not spend arrows, so this is probably a very, very good thing for us to invest our skill points in if we are going to try out the archery a little bit more. Now it looks like we do still have a quest marker on our little mini-map, so let's see, where does that lead? Is it right back in the Iron Ville? Yeah, it is, and I think it might be pointing at that second robot who looked very much like the one at the mechanical owl. So maybe there are some more quests for us to do, which would be very, very nice because of course I love this game. So in the next episode, what we'll do is we'll go all the way back down to the Ironville. We'll see what that robot wants, if it is the robot that we need to get to, and we'll try out all of our new tantalum items as well. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!